Welcome back everyone, my name's Eltimar and we are going to be continuing our Let's Play of Disco Elysium. Where we left off last time, we were engaged in an extremely long conversation with the murderer, and then also a phasmid. We found out that it was real, which is pretty damn cool. We're now leaving the island to obtain medical help and hopefully figure out what the end of the game has in store for us, so... The last video was a two-parter and it was like an hour and a half long. There was so much talking, my throat actually hurt for like a little bit after it, so I had to take a bit of a break. Let's return to the mainland. We're done here, he says, adjusting his glasses as he looks out over the water. The skiff rocks gently under your weight as you get in. The ride back is uneventful and quiet. But for the sound of conversation on the water, there is someone inland waiting for you. You reach the jetty and climb out of the skiff. We do still have our gun, which is important.
Look what the tide brought in,
says the man without the sunglasses. Suddenly, his expression changes and he tilts his head.
Harry, you're bleeding all over the place. You're half dead.
Whatever this is, it's completely unimportant compared to what you've just seen. This is the man with sunglasses from the Whirling in Rags, but where are his sunglasses? No one else seems bothered by the bleeding.
Bothered by it? Harry, you look like you need a fucking organ transplant. Fuck it. Let's not get into that.
Wait, you're the man with the sunglasses.
That's right. And you're bleeding.
Forget about all this. There's a giant...
We're not forgetting about anything. Look at you.
He points at you with both hands. Who are you people?
Hello, I'm Trent Heidelstein. I believe we've met on several occasions.
We have.
I'm your goddamn partner, Jean-Vic Mar. And this is your special task force, or what's left of it.
He says, gesturing towards his companions.
Special Consultant Trent Heidelstein, Patrol Officer Judith Minot.
Hi.
We have come to scrape what's left of you off the pavement.
Lieutenant Kimki Soragi, Precinct 57. We've just come from the island, where our investigation led us.
He points to the sea fort. The scene is making him feel as though he has to justify your actions.
We might need your help with something later.
He adds, suddenly regaining his confidence, as if he recalled that he is in fact a decorated police lieutenant and not a naughty boy.
But this is clearly a departmental matter, so I'm going to leave you to discuss it among yourselves.
Thank you, Lieutenant.
It's good to meet you, Lieutenant Kitsuragi.
She says warmly, flashing Kim the tiniest of smiles. What is this about?
Ari, we want to help you. Trant, I believe this is where you come in?
I don't quite know what I'm doing here. I was asked to participate as an expert. I think I need to manage your expectations a little. I'm at best an enthusiast in cognitive science. My background is in something else entirely. I engage in neurology on a merely theoretical level. In fact, I should probably get going.
He makes air quotes.
No, Trent, it's too late. You're part of this shit now. What have you got to say for yourself, shit kid?
He turns to us. What does he have to say for himself? He left you to catch the bullets. Shit kid, what an interesting moniker. What is a shit kid? You, shit kid, that's you. Maybe you deserved it. How did you know I was here? The cafeteria manager you fucked over told us where you went. After all that Sylvie stuff, he betrays me. Shit kid, he says, shaking his index finger. He didn't betray you, he just told us the direction you went in. Who's Sylvie? Sylvie's a girl I hooked guard up with. I did that and saved his establishment. Strange, he didn't mention that. In fact, the establishment didn't look saved at all. There's a giant arrow graffito in front of the building. It was on fire. Yeah, I lit it on fire. It was a poetic gesture. I knew it. Didn't I tell you, Trent? I told you it was our shit kid. The line is from Lou Jatin's Mirova 82, isn't it? About a girl child, communism. The titular returning character, the ghostly apparition of... He looks around, and noticing the impatience of his companions, stops himself. Good choice, Harry. He is correct. It was the serious poet La Jatun, who in the 50s of the last century composed a... Don't encourage him, Trent. Okay. So, Trent Heidelstein turns out to be Special Consultant Trent Heidelstein. Yes, I'm Trent Heidelstein. I never said I wasn't Trent Heidelstein. So wait, what was up with the kid then? Mikhail? Mikhail's my son. Oh yeah? What was up with all the interesting history spying on me? No, I was just interested in the Feld building and the Martinez beachhead, and Mikhail wanted to see the Martinez. It was a coincidence. So what are you special consulting here? What indeed? He looks at the dilapidated shacks and then you. I was asked to share my take on some of the more obscure theories developed in Königstein in the 30s, like psychotraumatic amnesia, group personality theory. He's here to see if you're insane. He's smart. Let's move on. You're not the man with the sunglasses at all. You're not even blonde. Guilty as charged. He exchanges a look with the special consultant. I heard you lost your mind and your memory. I wanted to see if it was true. And it was. Good work, Harry. You're insane now. There's one less person for me and everyone else to rely on. He was too sarcastic for you to realize who he was. I suspected something was off. Did you? He adjusts his tie. Or did you literally not recognize my face? We've been partners for how long, Harry? Don't answer that. You don't remember. Duped again? No one's who they say they are. Duped? Hey, here's a brilliant idea. Don't be a morbid drunk, and you won't be duped so easily. Gardener, scab leader, this? Turned to the lieutenant. Tell me at least you are who you said you were. Yes, I'm still Kim Kitsuragi, still lieutenant from Precinct 57. You mentioned a task force. Yeah, Major Crimes Unit, under Lieutenant Dubois and Vicomere. Ring any bells? Refresh my memory. Who else is in this? Refresh your memory. It's a goddamn Major Crimes Unit. There's you, me, Jude, Trant fucking Heidelstamm, and Guilherme Bevy. He stares at you. I'm technically just a civilian advisor. Fuck you, you're part of the shit show. Yeah, so first, who's Guilherme Bevy? Oh, that's an interesting story, actually. He's not smiling. Guilherme Bevy is a police reporter who joined our team. He was really good. Then he left because he lost faith in your ability to lead the unit. Other people have left too. Good, smart people. People we won't get back. Only me and this really patient patrol officer are still here. And Trent because I'm forcing him to stay. Okay, so what does the unit do? It's a major crimes unit. We clear the desk of cases so Precinct 41 doesn't look like the worst station in town. We're shit tier now, Harry, because of you. The 41st isn't... He trails off, not wanting to finish the sentence. Where have you been all this time? There was a mercenary tribunal. God damn it, Harry. He shifts his weight, crosses his arms, and looks you in the eye. You told us to fuck off. You said we're cramping your style, you're detective god, fuck everything, all will burn, detect or die. Wait, so you let me face a squad of trained killers alone to teach me a lesson? It wasn't like that. Fuck you, Harry. We didn't know there was going to be tribunal, did we? All will burn, Satellite Officer Vicomere. Make no mistake about it. Here we go. Alcoholic delirium, visions, all must pay. He shakes his head. You never told me that you're not the horse-faced woman. Lieutenant, she says with a heavy sigh, my name is not horse-faced woman, it's Judith Minot. I was assigned to your unit 2 months ago. I thought we were friends. I'm truly sorry, Officer Minot. Okay, another sigh. You're my commanding officer. I really want to respect you. I just want us to have a normal relationship. That will never happen, Jude. He's the rudest man on earth. He is the reason why the rest of us have to take sensitivity training, and I hate sensitivity training. None of this is ringing any bells. The bells that aren't ringing... the bells aren't ringing because you have brain damage. Trent, he turns to the blonde. This is where you come in. How bad is it? Well, he doesn't have visible tremors. He talks without slurring. He can drive a boat. He's standing, reasoning, all good signs. But complete retrograde amnesia, episodic and semantic, meaning you forgot both who you are and the definitions of money, Isla Pale, and so on. As displayed in the station, call our interactions with him, and I don't want to be a snitch. He makes air quotes, but also mine with him before when Harry did not seem to know who I was. It's all very interesting. Interesting? Yes, interesting. I have my theories, but I would like to hear Harry's thoughts first. He turns to you. What do you think happened to you, neurologically, psychologically, and why not socioeconomically? Wait, socioeconomically? You think I'm so poor I lost my memory? Not when you phrase it like that, but I don't think critical theory... I know everyone thinks it's a far-fetched pink academia, but still, I don't think it should be off the table here. What? He lost his memory because of capitalism? No, not like that. I'm talking Redford's school here, but Harry asked you, what do you think happened? I drank so much I lost my memory, and I'm now... I drank so much I lost my memory, and I'm now slowly recovering it. He is getting a lot better, and I can confirm he drank a lot of alcohol prior to it happening. I believe he drank... He turns to you. People do that, especially this one. What they don't do is forget their whole life because of drinking. But Detective Vikimir, she interjects, he has blanked out before. I have? Yeah, a couple of times after some of the more serious benders. She pauses, remembering. One was after the two drunks case. The other when we looked out into that mural. So you don't remember not remembering. Beautiful. Interesting. So at first he dipped his toes in it, prepared. That's where he would have gotten the idea. Yes, practice. And then he used alcohol to get there, so to speak. What do you mean? Well, here's my theory. What if this is an absolutely normal reaction to the world we're living in? What if it's not a significant anomaly at all? Something to be explained. Approach as a deficit. Look at the sensory input here. He gestures towards the scenery. Look at the ruins, the neon, listen to the radio, the multitudes, the people. Live here for 40 years as a police detective. He's like a magnet reader on the world tape. To borrow a known metaphor, Harry's been pushed flat against it. Total input. Hardwired to the free market, he nods confidently. He just needed for it to end. Okay, Tran, thank you. That's absolutely meaningless. I'm glad we brought you. Will he or will he not be able to work in the major crimes unit? Is he a cretin now? I want to know that. He is not a cretin, and he is able to do work, if not in his previous leadership role, then as a line detective. I am ready to lead again. No one even mentioned that. He looks at you, then at Trent. I misphrased my question. It should have been, is he able to put his clothes on and use the potty, or do we need to get him on a disability pension? Proceed. Nothing. No, now nothing. Now we're just gonna stand here. Really? No, now we discussed that, he points to the water. What the fuck did you do to our motor carriage? Why is it there? I drove it into the ocean when I was drunk. So refreshing, he admits it. Thank you for your honesty. Thank you for destroying 45,000 riel of police property. That's coming out of everyone's payslip. It doesn't matter. He exhales to calm his breathing. Your badge, Harry. Show me your badge. Got it right here. Show it to them. He squints at it suspiciously, trying to ascertain if it's not a blue candy wrapper or piece of vinyl. Finally, he nods, unimpressed. Okay, and your gun? What is it with these material objects? My gun is here. I show him the Villiers 9mm. Whew, he has it. I thought it was in the ocean. He wipes his brow in mock relief. You're drunk like a bum, Harry. Put the thing away before you kill someone. I quit drinking forever. It's only me in this boring hellhole now. I don't buy it. Why do you smell like a corpse then, huh? He's wounded. He looks at you. It's been a long week and he's handled an actual corpse. None of this matters. My odor situation is meaningless compared to what I've discovered. What you've discovered? You let the suspect escape a certain Classier because you were too drunk to assess her flight risk. We read the reports, Harry. Lieutenant Kitsuragi's, we know. Classier? She was some kind of spy from the Occident, specially trained? Maybe not that one. Not taking her in was the right thing to do. She gave us a vital clue that led us to the island. Oh, well, if she was nice, he rubs his face in frustration. I'm not even going to get into the other suspect, who also escaped. Yeah, Ruby something? Or the fact that you're Everett Clare's little peony now, doing I don't know what for him. That's small-time stuff. That's nothing. That's a humorous anecdote. Compared to the 6 people who were gunned down, the streets are literally red with blood. Harry, it was a fucking mass murder. He did everything he could, the lieutenant interrupts him. We did everything we could. The company hired unvetted mercenaries. Lieutenant Dubois got between them and the locals. He did so at considerable risk to his person. Remember, he was shot. We stopped an execution, not a negotiation. The loss of life was minimal compared to what it could have been. I also solved the case. It's solved. All of it. Detective, it's better if I do that, he says in a lowered voice. It is so much better if he does this, 1,000,000 times better. Thank you for the input, Lieutenant Kitsuragi. I didn't mean to suggest you didn't handle the situation. He brushes a strand of hair out of his eye and coughs. You spent the week with him. On this case, what's your take? On the case? On Lieutenant Yefreder Dubois. Well, he pulls up his collar. The drinking, the gun losing, also losing the badge. That's all true, although he's not been drinking on the job this week. See? 1 week. And then there's the apocalypse thing. At first I thought it was a joke, but it's not. He actually thinks the world's about to end, in a bloodletting or a gloaming. Or about to become vapor even. It's worrying, especially considering his political views. Detective Dubois is, as you may know, a Mazovian socio-economist. He wants to liquidate the ruling class, which again, for a police officer, is a little odd. You should yell something. That's not a good idea. Yes, let's let the big boys talk. And then there's the motor carriage in the sea, something I was not present for. He breathed in sharply, but despite all this, he is a great detective, one of the best I've seen in fact. He can talk human beings into telling him everything, and he doesn't stop. In all the time I've spent with him, he has not once stopped pursuing leads, however far-fetched and tangential. He is tireless, madly driven. Well, except for that one time when he stopped to sing karaoke, which, by the way, was a valiant effort. He really sang his heart out. Yeah, it was what it was. Other than that one time, he has tirelessly worked on the case, and he solved it. We have a confession, a murder weapon, and the perpetrator locked on the island right now, awaiting transportation. He apprehended a straggler who stayed hidden for 50 years, ever since the Revolution, who's probably committed other murders over those years. Oh, and he also discovered a new species. A new species? A colossal stick insect. It was on the island camouflaged as the reeds. It unfolded from the reeds. I think we may be dealing with the Insulindian phasmid. He takes out the photo of the phasmid and shows it to the officers across the yard. The wind blows, flapping the glossy rectangle in his hand. You hear gasps beneath the howling of the wind. As you can see, it's about 3 meters tall. In fact, we think it may be the largest land invertebrate we've ever discovered. This is what I've been trying to tell you about. He ignores you, still staring at the phasmid. Fucking hell, is that somehow connected to the case? Detective, he turns to you. Yes, I believe the pheromone it emits may be responsible for the killer's mental degradation. The old man was not aware of the phasmid's presence, exhibiting a strange, atypical dementia. He fell into a stupor after its appearance. He became near catatonic. So it is connected. Kinda. I must say this, he points to the photo, is absolutely extraordinary. I don't even have words for it. Yes, it really does make it hard to fire the drunk. His tired eyes follow the photo as the lieutenant puts it away. This is a very, very sad man who's just seen something that's made him forget his sadness. Now you make your case. Now is the time. Now or never. Okay, the phasmid was female. The reeds are its nest. Female, what makes you think so? You had to see it. It had the subdued colors of a female and the nesting behavior too, I think. Incredible. Were there eggs in the nest? Not as far as I can see. There were other things there, though. He turns to you. It is interesting time. Forget about the rest. It had gathered items in its nest. A helmet, a scope, and a passport. Actually, you know, that would indicate it's male. This is far from anything in my field, but I think such nests are called bowers, or bowers. They're for attracting mates. It could have been male, actually. It must be robust if it can move a helmet with its limbs. He trails off, lost in thought. I think it reproduces by parthenogenesis. As in cloning itself? What makes you think so? He told me. He ignores your answer. Then it wouldn't matter if it's male or female. The bower would just be a rudimentary behavior from before the parthenogenic mutation. Very interesting. He looks around, quickly assessing the coast. Such organisms are extremely vulnerable to disease. A single strain of bacteria could wipe out the whole species. We're probably looking at conservation efforts here. In his mind, he's already planning a nature reserve and knows a good guy for that. Its nervous system may be sorted in its long limbs. Like cephalopods? Phasmids, I think? Only have nerds in their heads and abdomens, though. Is there a correlation between the invertebrate size and intelligence? Was it... No, I wouldn't say it was. He looks to you. It was a sensing entity. There was something there. He nods. At the size of that creature, would have looked a lot... He nods. At that size, this creature would have a lot of surface area to put neurons into. It's basic geometry. It had mandibles that looked like hair. It was completely white on the inside. Yes, but also reed-colored beige and brown, and little green on the outside. After unfolding from the single stalk, it still retained parts that looked like reed tufts on its limbs. Incredible, he repeats, turning to Vicamere. The PR value of this is exceptional. Cop discovers new species. Maybe even discovers the Insulindian phasmid. No, that's too much. This would really help with some of the problems we've been having. Absolutely. This is great. This does not say vigilante murderers to me at all. This says science, news, human interests. He smiles. You know, it's a really good thing you have that photo. Without it, he shakes his head. You're doing good here. Perhaps only for a moment, but still. Quit while you're ahead or no? The killer, Lilianovich Dross, we have a strong motive for him. Lilianovich, the special consultant, raises an eyebrow. A revolutionary matronym? What's that mean? The custom started when in Grad, where they have patronyms. Krasovich, Larsovich, etc. The revolutionaries saw this as a chauvinist atavism, so they used matronyms, derived from the mother's name instead. This man's mother was Lilian. He is Lilian's son, Lilianovich. The custom was overturned after the revolution failed, but not before it made it to Revachol. So it is what the soldier of the ICM would be called. Thank you, Trent. Thank you for that piece of cultural theory. He turns to you. You said you have a motive. Of course, excuse me, I thought it was noteworthy. He killed the mercenary as an act of jealousy. Jealousy? I thought this Lilianovich was an old man to have been hiding for 50 years. 70-something? A strange psychosexual fixation, aggravated possibly by proximity to the phasmid and its chemicals. He himself gave a political reason. He said he had killed an enemy combatant. Also, we have a sniper's nest with full view of the room in which the mercenary died, right on the island, and 2 officers on the scene that Mr. Dross confessed to. It's a clean win. Oh, it's way more than that. It's more than that. A perfect folding mechanism like the phasmid. Perfect folding mechanism? He rolls his eyes. Get over yourself, Harry. I can still smell the booze in the wind. God damn it. Doesn't it ever leave? It is there, like in your bones or something. It will pass in time. The previous head of the Debardeurs Union was assassinated by our killer. The lieutenant lowers his voice just a little. This is a conversation for when we are no longer in the open in Martinaise, where Everett and Edgar Clare have ears everywhere. And eyes, too. You returned from the island must not have gone unnoticed. Understood, of course. The consultant, too, has lowered his voice. I'd prefer not to partake in anything union-related for political neutrality. There was also a dead man on the boardwalk, a missing person I found. Yes, fallen through a gap in the boardwalk drunk. How did you know I found him? The body was transported to Precinct 41, our morgue. I had Tilbrook and Mullins take care of the funeral arrangements and family stuff. You're not the only cop in the world, Harry. This all comes back to us. Still, she says quietly, good work with the missing person detective. It's still a point for you, no denying it. I also looked into the mystery of the doomed commercial area. He shrugs. I don't know what a doomed commercial area is. Rue de Sancus Lane 10, a commercial building where all businesses go bankrupt. I looked into it. Why? That's not what you're here to do. There was a possible witness in there, and it was just close to the crime scene. He was just chasing a lead and ended up advising a local shopkeeper it was okay. Of course. She turns to Vicamere. Call it community outreach, right? Dodged the bullet there. For a moment it seemed like you were just wasting time. We should probably not talk about the nightclub. Maybe we will. I also started a nightclub in the church. What was that? He cups his ear into the wind. It sounded like you set up a nightclub in the church. Yes, and I discovered a hitherto unexplored entroponetical phenomenon in there too. A 2mm hole in the world. That's great. Entreprenaut is a great new career for you after police officer. I don't care. Go live in the Pale. 4 kids were living in a tent on the ice. They were going to drown when it melted, so it's not optimal, but the building was abandoned, so we put them in there. It's okay. It's not that okay. Get off the subject now. So what do you say? Want to take this hot shit back? I point to myself. I don't want to, but you discovered a new species and solved the murder, he shrugs. So I have to, Jude? A quick nod. Anything that ends with the trial is okay with me. Agreed, the public relations potential of this is too valuable to let go. Okay, he sighs. We have vehicles in the square, and the perpetrator needs to be taken into custody. Let's go. Wait, I have a few questions before we go about who I am. The man looks westward impatiently, jingling keys in his pocket. Okay, first of all, am I a dirty cop working for La Puta Madre? No. No, because the suspects seem to think you're too unstable to work for a mob boss. You're suicidal, Harry. No mob boss would take you. I assure you, I wouldn't consult for a corrupt unit. The phasmid. I need to tell Lena about this ASAP. Who's Lena? She lives at 1113 Tabernacle Road in Jamrock, remember? A cryptozoologist. She lives in Jamrock on Tabernacle Road. She told me about this phasmid. Tabernacle. It's on the way over, near where you live on Perdition. She looks at Vicamere. Fine, if we're gonna drop you off anyways. She and her husband were conducting the search for the phasmid. It's their discovery in part. They should know as soon as possible. It would do you good to deliver some positive news for a change. Why am I like this? It's not a mystery. Some chick fucked you over, also you're drunk. You really went with it too. Really maximized the damage. Some chick who? Dora something. Dora Ingerland, he thinks? Yeah, you mentioned her name. Not Dora Dubois. Wait. Dora Ingerland? Something like that. Have Bazin. Baza is where beautiful and impossibly blonde people come from, so we weren't even married. No one is married anymore. This is Revachol. When was this? God, I don't know. 6 years ago? She was way before my time. 6 years? Yeah, or 7? You're not doing too good there. It's an old man thing. 2 old years equals 1 normal year. That and Dora Ingerland really tore you a new one. A big one. Who was she? Incredibly bangable? No, I mean, what did she do? She was incredibly fuckable. A beautiful bourgeois woman. Wifeish, like Welkin, basically. Snow Welkin. Blonde Welkin. Pain Welkin. I've only seen a picture, but it's obvious you formed a real spiritual connection with how pretty she was. One you never recuperated from. Look, she turns to face the sea. The sun's about to go down, it's time to go home. I think she taught in the Académie des Arts, east of the river, way east. Hard to say which came first, the middle-class chick or the drink. Egg and the chicken kind of thing. My point is, you need to see a psychiatrist about this shit, not a psychologist, several degrees harder. Is there something harder than a psychiatrist? He pauses to think. A forensic psychiatrist? Go talk to that. In other words, he's heard enough about this. kind of precinct is 41? Us? We're the bloody murder station, haven't you heard? We're the bad guys, no one likes us. That's not true. Jamrock is too big for one precinct, you're just understaffed and everyone respects the 41st. You have Captain Price. Thank you, Lieutenant, you're being kind. It is an understaffed station, and the district is too big, which is why we need to, he tilted his head northward, get back to it. We left Torsen and McLean to run the Sea Wing, it's not good. And... did we recently shoot up a church by any chance? I point to the church. So he remembers that. Yes, there might have been a raid on some churches. It wasn't good press. Shooting up churches never is. I was out of town, to be clear. What happened? Why did we need to go there? Our enemies were hiding in a church, to the best of our information. That's it. I'm not talking about this anymore. Your security clearance is shit tier right now. You have to wait for it to go up. He means it. The RCM and its enemies will not be discussed on this coast. Torsen and McLean? Mac, the Torso Torsen, and Chester McLean. She arches an eyebrow. They're not fit to run a ring, believe me. Things are shaky as it is. They are damn iconic though, Torsen and McLean. An iconic duo, I take it? Yeah, not like us. Two clinically depressed old men. Where's the contrast here? We're garbage. C Wing is... God, he sighs. There are 4 wings. Harry, A, B, C, and D. We're in C. It's made of losers and clock punchers. You and I reconceptualized it as a task force. It was a mistake. There's also a lot of outside help involved. Not only me, he smiles, other losers too. And Price is... Ptolemy Price. He's the son of the old Price, one of the founders of the RCM. He's one of the most highly regarded men in the force. You're lucky. Somewhere under the curved roof of a former silk factory shaped like a ladybird with 2 chimneys, Police Captain Ptolemy Price sits behind a heavy wooden desk. Resident medic Nix Gottlieb pours him coffee. It's silent in the captain's office. They speak of change, the city, the tension on the streets. They speak of the events of April and the blood on the streets in May. So I work in the bloody murder station. Okay, it's not the bloody murder station. It's an old converted silk mill with green desk lamps and a coffee corner. A lot of good people work there hard every day. Jamrock is the largest ghetto in Revachol. Faubourg, technically, but it's divided into 11 districts. Jamrock only has us. The press will blow over, he says in a reassuring tone. Jamrock is lucky to have you, and it's often considered to be the greatest of the districts. You're lucky to have it. Thank you again. Who am I? Who are you? You're a gym teacher, Harry. What? Well, obviously you're not a gym teacher anymore, but before? Before you were a cop, you were a gym teacher in Quran. She looks around. It's getting really cold outside. Should we maybe... No way. I was a revelator, learned in the ancient art. You haven't told us about that, you just told us about being a gym teacher. That does explain a lot. Harry, it explains everything. The running around, the jumping, the bicep girth, your inexplicable facial hair, the collection of Fallon sportswear I've amassed. The fact is, you don't seem to know what homosexuality is and how you're able to perform a 360-degree spin kick too. God, even this javelin throwing freak here. Oh god. Contact Mike. Of course, contact Mike. He's been on about Mike again? The detective shakes his head. I hate that guy. Contact Mike is a reprise of one of the most inspiring basic sporting principle of open competition, a 5,000 to 1 rank outsider. No, you don't say. He arches an eyebrow. Does he also vault an impossible gulf of finance and privilege? It is getting cold out. She looks around at the dilapidated fishing village. When was this? When was I a gym teacher? In your 20s or late 20s? You've really let yourself go since then. He looks you over. You said in Quran I was a gym teacher there? Yes, you taught gym in Quran. I believe that's the term. Taught gym at a high school. You were a high school gym teacher. The smell of sweat and glue the worn floorboards. Quran is just east of Jamrock. It was a short walk every morning to the baseball field or the sports building. High school, Harry. You're goings on with Kuno, Andre, Estelle, the whole thing on the ice. That's why you're so juvie. His smirk suggests barely contained laughter. Why did I join the RCM then? The regular, you found some chick, she inspired you to fight the big fight, be more than you are, all that. You, every morning, walking from Voyager Road to teach gym, she leaving for the academy with her spring coat on, the air filled with the smell of smoke and raspberries and incredible hope, an ocean full of hope. I see now. Lieutenant Kitsuragi, what will you do now? Well, first I'll go back to my station, write the most detailed report anyone has ever seen. It'll be good to cover all this, then I'll have a serious talk with my captain about what? He pulls up his collar and looks around, the cold spring light reflected in the lenses of his glasses. Detective, we just stopped a small-scale war. Something's happening to Revachol. I don't know what yet, but it's going to be a hard swing for the RCM. We need to get ready. Infiltrate. Investigate. Want to do that at Station 41? Talk to Captain Price? I'd rather not ruffle feathers of 2 captains with my doom-mongering. No, I mean, investigate. Come work. In Precinct 41. Work with Price? A crooked smile quivers on his lip. I'm flattered, but I don't know if I... This truly has come as a surprise to him. Not a bad one, but he's at a loss. Flattered? You're Lieutenant Kitsuragi. We would be flattered if you even considered. The man turns very serious all of a sudden, but I'll have to tie things up in Griff first. But I mean, whatever's coming, Jamrock will be more central to it than the harbor. And we will have a huge caseload, Lieutenant, she says with a smile. Piles that we need to get back to, mountains even. Do you like the sound of that? He returns her smile. He's really considering it. I'm ready. Good, she looks at you, then Vicamir. Fuck it, let's go. The man points down the street. Trent brought his motor carriage. It's a 20-minute drive to Jamrock. Under the noonday sun or sky, the great district hums, a chessboard of wooden houses, 80,000 living souls, and a chimney stacks. Fire traps, as far as the eyes can see, from Main Street to Precinct 41 to Boogie Street, forking in the snow-swept horizon. You close your eyes and hear the dogs bark. A lone woman sits by a factory window dreaming of meteorite strikes. On Rue de Saint-Jerome, a square bullet slides into a square-shaped chamber. In Old South, a man without eyelids smiles. Spring has come. It's time. Torsen? Yes. McLean? Yes. Heidelstein? No. Vicamir? Yes. Dubois? Yes. Really? Nick Gottlieb looks up from the list. I hear he's unstable. You say that like it's a bad thing, Captain. Ptolemy Price gestures with a ballpoint pen. It's dim in the office and the curtains are drawn. Harry's our man. He'll pull through. When he does, he'll side with the people. Understood. Gottlieb returns to the list. Minot? Of course. Wonderful. The woman looks north. Then can we please just go back to Jamrock now? Oh. I think we're done. That was really cool. I am like very impressed with this game. It is probably the most narratively complex game that I've played in a long time. There's just so much going on all the time. The world building was very impressive. Well, now I feel kind of sad it's over. It was so good though. We solved the murder. Although, the one sort of criticism we'll give it is that the murderer turned out to be no one that was part of the story until the very end. I don't know why, but it bugs me when stuff like that happens. That's the only thing that bugs me about it though. Everything else is just so great. I was kind of hoping I would be the murderer actually. When I thought about him like taking the shot, like I could make this shot, and I was like, oh my god, I'm the murderer. That's what it's going to come to. But it wasn't, sadly. I was kind of hoping that I would end up being the murderer, but still a very, very cool game. I think we are officially done. I will end the video here, and as I ask at the end of every series, if you like the channel and like the content, please consider subscribing. Otherwise, I will see you all next time. We're going to finish up Pathfinder, and then I'm going to figure out what kind of series I want to do next. I'm not really sure. I don't have a next game picked out. I mean, I do have one of 2 games picked out. We're going to be doing Spellforce 3. It was a gift from a viewer, and I said I was going to do a playthrough of it, and I'm really looking forward to it. It's actually a really fun game. I played a little bit of it. I didn't want to get too far into it so that I would have a sort of fresh perspective when we actually go into the playthrough. So yeah, that's where I'm going to leave you guys. Like always, if you have any suggestions or comments, please leave them below. Otherwise, I'll see you all next time. Take care.